Yeah, Guy Fierce redesign. He's like they got the new skin unlocked. Stay at home dad. Like
Dude, I did not I was not expecting that like at all. Like you were commenting on like his hair, and I'm like, what about the rest of him?
he's like they got the new skin. Sorry, I had to make sure it was working. But yeah, we're alive with the whole thing, and we're gonna go into this quick. Um, so like everybody else say hi. Excellent work.
What happened?
Just say hi.
Hi.
Yeah. What about I guess oh I heard something down there. You okay down there?
Hello?
Oh yeah, hello.
There he is.
Hmm.
We're recording now.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, we are live. Which means we can't back out of recordings. So
I
Does
mean,
the soundboard work in here?
it shouldn't, but it can.
let's not use the soundboard.
Okay.
And yeah, if you want to, I mean, if you use it sparingly, I don't mind. But like, if
No, no, it's fine. I was just gonna use the greetings one.
greetings, yeah, that.
Greetings.
So
Greetings.
this is actually one of my new favorite reviewers, Mandalore Gaming. He's he's up there with Tech and stuff like that. Um, he definitely has some opinions that I'm like, very few of them I kind of disagree. Like his Soma review, I didn't quite agree with like how Simon is dumb, and I'm like, nah, I don't think that's right. But like I get why he would say something like that. Uh, so we're gonna go and he's gonna review the Dead Space remake, which I thought was a interesting thing to look at. Um, how much familiarity do you guys have with the with Dead Space in general?
Oh,
Oh my gosh,
sorry. Sorry.
it's only one lung. It's fine.
But yeah, a long time ago, I remember my dad played Dead Space 2 a lot.
Hmm.
Uh, and I would watch him play it. And it was an experience. Sometimes he'd be creeped out, sometimes he'd be extremely angry. Not at like any story elements, just mainly just there would be some really hard parts for him to figure out.
Mm-hmm. And
And
mhm.
it was a it was overall my only big experience with Dead Space 2. I have been playing the I'll just come on and say it. I did not play much of the first game. Uh
Mhm.
and I mean the remake because I've never actually touched the first Dead Space thing. And if you're probably wondering if just like, well, why are you here? Then if you're a guy who cares about his research, well, it's because it's because me and Falco didn't talk much about this
Hey, wait
before
a
we
minute.
started.
Hey, wait a minute. Don't you just threw me on.
We are holding
Ow, the
Froggo
bus.
hostage.
Ow,
I'm
the
being
bus.
honest. I'm being honest here. Okay.
Ow, the bus. He's driving it right over me. But like, but yeah. So what I want to do is have the fresh perspective of not knowing much about it, and like because there's going to be people who watch the review who want to go, maybe I should buy that. Maybe I should play that if he recommends it or not. You know, that sort of thing. And people who have played it are looking for his professional commentary, like, yeah, I agree with that, or I don't. Because I think reviews are not just for people who already know the game or the product itself, it's also for people who might want to pick it up. So it's like,
Yeah.
do you know the story of Dead Space? Um, Froggo?
Uh, I I think I do.
Okay, Redacted. What is your familiarity with Dead
I
Space?
I have played all of the games,
Mm.
and even yeah, I've played all the games. I've watched the animations that were made. I read through one of the comics. Like,
Oh yeah, they had a digital comic, didn't they?
yep. But yeah, I'm very familiar with the story of Dead Space. Although it's been a while since I've played the original trilogy.
Mm. I've played 1, 2, and I've seen reviews of that rail shooter one. I've never read the comic. I've watched both animated movies. Um, and so I'm very familiar with Dead Space. And mhm,
the rail shooter is like the Wii game, isn't it?
Yep.
yes, it's like Umbrella Chronicles. So yeah, that's all there is, and we're gonna go straight to it probably. I need to get the full screen before we go there because I want to be a professional guy. So we're gonna do that.
All right.
Yeah, here we go. So, um, you see the screen? Is that the original or the remake?
It's the
Froggo?
original.
It is the original. You're right. Yeah. Hmm. It's kind
I mean
of
it's pretty easy to tell between the two.
it is, but I'm still impressed that this is a 2 generations ago. I mean, yeah, it's 2 generations ago because this is PS3 type stuff. Like
It
Yeah.
it
it
still
holds
looks
up
good.
very well.
It does. Art direction goes a long way.
Yes.
I think the lighting does too. Uh, it's pretty impressive. So we're gonna start.
Ah, goosebumps.
Yeah, he used that a lot in his Halloween stuff.
How many of you have actually watched like the original Goosebumps?
Mm.
Uh,
I was there, Gandalf.
I I've seen a few episodes, mostly just whenever I was scrolling through the TV back when we
Hmm.
actually had like, satellite TV.
I I was the Chad who's like, I don't Goosebumps is okay, but I watch Are You Afraid of the Dark? It's
I never saw Are You Afraid of the Dark? I mainly grew up with Goosebumps.
mhm.
Although my dad would my dad would always be like pretty negative towards it because he hates Goosebumps and he hates the author and all that sort of thing. So I would kind of like have to sneak in watch throughs of uh of Goosebumps. And yeah, I rewatched it with Owen. It was one of the episodes, and
Mhm.
I can see why my dad hated it. I can't hate it personally because I grew up with it, but
It's like the
it
original Power
is
Rangers. It's like, man, this is so goofy and
I w-
stupid.
I wouldn't even say original Power Rangers because I think Power Rangers had a bigger budget than Goosebumps. Goosebumps is just extremely safe and cheap.
Yes.
Uh
They're also
and
Canadian, so
yeah, you could tell it's Canadian. uh it's just one of those things where you watch it as a kid. It's just like, oh, this is pretty spooky.
no.
I
Oh,
remember R.L. Stein actually made something called The Haunting Hour,
yes.
and that was sort of a show where he was able to sneak in more creepy stuff. Uh, because Goosebumps was on a budget, but the R.L. Stein's The Haunting Hour was actually had a budget.
Hmm.
uh, and there were like stories where ice guys in ice cream trucks like kidnap children, or a scarecrow that uh basically removes people from existence, and it got into some pretty
Oh, Harold
creepy
the
shit.
Scarecrow.
I
Yeah.
yeah, I remember that episode scared the ever loving shit out of me when I was a kid because I was too afraid of like a scarecrow like removing me from existence.
Well, all right.
After a long wait that
Sorry
included
about that.
No, it's fine.
the birth of a weird stepbrother, I finally got to play through the remake of Dead Space a few times.
Someone's echoing.
I
I think it's redacted.
Is it?
Yeah,
My microphone shouldn't be picking up anything. I'm wearing headphones.
I heard.
Oh, wait.
I heard.
Oh, it
somebody.
might be it might be you then, Falco.
I'm on my headphones.
Okay,
Yeah.
hold on. I'm gonna turn down my volume a bit and see if that works.
As far as a remake goes, it's incredibly
it's
faithful
me.
to the
Yep.
It's me. I see myself lighting up. How?
Yep.
Okay, I'm just gonna turn down. Wait, actually, hang on. If I turn down Watch Together, does that affect you guys? Or
No,
is that only
No.
on my
it
end?
does not. It doesn't affect.
That's
us.
your
Okay.
end.
All right.
Okay, I'm just gonna turn down Watch Together then.
Okay. My bad.
Yeah, the video's pretty loud, but it's fine.
After a long wait that included the birth of a weird stepbrother, I finally got to play through the remake of Dead Space a few times. As far as a remake goes, it's incredibly faithful to the point that I've seen some people say that it outright replaces the original for them. That's a good sign considering how cynical the murder of Visceral was, and that many members of the original team released their own spiritual successor just the month before. Though how that went is a story for next time. So
We
forgetting all that,
we actually talked about this yesterday, I think, for a little bit about quadruple A games, and Callisto Protocol was one of them.
Yeah, and
Yes,
it
it
didn't
was.
go over well.
It's
No, it
super
didn't.
it's super fucking weird what that, not just Callisto Protocol, but also Skull and Bones and Perfect Dark. And before we even got to see how Perfect Dark would turn out as a quadruple A game, they canceled it. So we'll never figure out what that game was supposed to be like. Uh, and it was just a weird era where game developers were trying to go like, here's a quadruple A game, and
Do
they
you know what that even
literally all
means?
failed.
Do you know what that even
That's
means? It's
the thing is, I don't, because I know what a triple A game, I know what a double A game is, you know, I know what all those A games are, but I don't know what the fucking point of quadruple A was supposed to be.
Well, the thing is though, like A, triple A, whatever, these are kind of meaningless phrases because of it's just amount of money put into it. That's it.
Well, didn't it used to be like, okay, you have like with movies you have like a B movie and then like an A movie would be like a regular like blockbuster movie.
Yeah. That's
It,
it's all about budget.
yeah, and then presumably above A you would have, double A and then triple A for even higher budget, and typically it was the budget would really kind of determine the quality of it.
Well, as we all know,
Not so much anymore now.
It's sort of like the idea. It's like graphics make the game. It's like no, it really doesn't. It's never been the case because like back then, AAA meant Super Mario World. Like,
I never actually thought I would live through that era of just like, here are quadruple A games, and they just fucking died like I don't know, a rabbit that was just born in the cold.
Jesus.
It's kind of like that's the cutest thing ever seen.
Oh yeah, that's right. It reminded me of when which was it? It was Final Fantasy Spirits Within, I think.
Oh yeah, the CGI movie. Yeah.
Yeah, how they tried to create like the first digital actor or actress, and they were marketing it everywhere of like, this is going to change things, and then people didn't watch Spirits Within, so
people just didn't care that much because like, and then we got Avatar, which is like, I think that was the game changer. Like, but still, no one talks about it that much anymore.
Well, it was a game changer for its effects, and
correct.
That's about it.
Well, that's because whoever works on like the Final Fantasy movies just have grade A-S animation for some reason all the time.
surrounding it, I just want to talk about the game and how it compares to the original. There are some
Okay,
huge
I
improvements,
turned
a
my
few trade-offs.
microphone sensitivity up, and I've got
What happened?
uh,
No, you turn.
I turned my microphone sensitivity up, and I've got the video turned down as low as it can go without muting it.
All
So
right.
hopefully the echoing will stop on my end.
I didn't
Yeah,
hear it for a
yeah.
while, so.
There are some
Oh.
huge improvements, a few trade-offs, and some things that are glaringly worse, which makes it really interesting for me to get into. I'll save the heavier bits for a spoiler section, but for this, I'm going to assume you're familiar with Dead Space. But just in the case that you're not, I'll give you a quick refresher. Isaac Clarke is a space cable guy who's come with his team to repair a ship's communications and check in on his girlfriend. The ship is full of undead steak knives and haunted by a string orchestra. Okay,
Haunted by a string orchestra.
Well, the thing I love about
I love
what
that description.
the thing I loved, and now I don't know if this is a thing in the original game,
Mhm.
but I actually do like how the game like tricks you, because when you discover the enemies and you see them, that musical sting comes up, but then you realize very quickly as you're playing throughout the game that that musical sting only happens when you're facing the enemy with your flashlight. Because otherwise, if your flashlight's not on them, or they are not face you are not facing their direction, the musical sting won't happen. It won't happen until they are either very close to you or your flashlight is on them. So that's how the game likes to trick you and get you. So it kind of brings this sense of paranoia where you're constantly looking around, making sure that there are no monsters nearby.
The whole
I think
thing
I've ever noticed that before.
in the original one, they do have those things where it's like they do the same thing in the original and in the remake where there's the floating guys in the vent, and he just like, uh-oh, he's gonna come for you, and he never does. And it's like,
Yeah,
huh. It's like and
the,
then
the game.
like it's really setting up something for later, actually. It's not a red herring. It's just a oh, I've seen these guys before. It's like, yeah, you have. It's like,
I think that is a really great way to give you paranoia. And there's some games that do that very simply. Like I've people will know I recently played Iron Lung, the video game, and that does a good job at making you paranoid. But it's not really anything that is like this
mhm.
level of paranoia, because this game actively
It's
like
very
tricks
different.
you.
It's very different
Yeah.
because Iron Lung is all about what you don't see and your imagination fills up the gaps. Where it's like this one is the threat is very literal and you can shoot it.
I think the worst example of a musical sting in a horror game is Final Fantasy Security Breach.
Outlast.
And
Oh.
I'm gonna explain. No, no, no. Security Breach is much worse. Uh, because I'm gonna explain this as quickly and as best as I can.
By the way, Froggo said
Basically,
he had nothing to say. Here he goes.
uh, so basically in Security Breach, if when an animatronic like notices you, it does like a quick musical sting sound that it repeats if it sees you again. So it's supposed to be a sting of just like, all right, the animatronic is noticing you, cool. And then
Mhm.
if you run away from them,
Excuse me.
like if you are far enough away from them but they still notice you, you can run away from them at that distance, and if you run fast enough, that musical sting will happen again and again and again and again, and you're wondering, it's like, why does they keep playing that? Do they just notice me and not notice me? What's going on? And then once you play the game enough and you turn around, suddenly the animatronic is pretty close to you, and but it's just standing there until it sees you again. So basically, what you can confirm from everything I played, uh, is that it only plays that musical sting because the animatronic its pathing system is so terrible that it will literally teleport to you if you are far away enough from it, and not turn on again until it notices you, and that's when the musical sting will happen. So if you're like running in a straight line and not turning around, and you hear that play over and over again, that's the animatronic teleporting to you so that it can actually catch up.
I just
Security Breach is a fucking awful game, by the way.
yeah. I'm just saying, like, I like that little like description he has. Like, you're a space cable man.
Yeah,
We're
this
caught
is
up.
actually a good way of using the musical sting.
Our ship's communications and checking on his girlfriend. The ship is full of undead steak knives and haunted by a string orchestra. Okay, we're caught up. On a technical level, to no surprise, it looks better than the game from 2008. What's impressive is how far they twisted some of these areas while still remaining recognizable. In others, the fidelity is pumped so much higher that you can barely recognize what the room originally was. The layout can change drastically with new objects and even rooms added onto it. Generally, the more drastic changes are done for the better. They try to maintain the big, recognizable features that people remember from a room, but when they get off the range, it's typically to make an area feel more real and lived in, like the Ishimura now having a security checkpoint before properly entering the flight lounge. Other areas are hugely opened up and give you a better sense of scale of just how big the ship is. Though ironically, the increased detail has scaled down some areas. A good example is when you dive into the guts of the Ishimura to refuel the ship. It's smoky and industrial, but so dark it's like you're in some kind of void. The parts are huge and bizarre. There's what looks like a massive human spine just vanishing into the fog.
That's
Beyond
a
the
good shot.
Mm-hmm.
That shot kind of reminds me of like a. I don't know if this is the correct one to use, but it kind of reminds me of a kind of reminds me of like a shot you would see in like the Alien franchise.
It kind of reminds me of like yeah, you're not wrong. Where it's like it reminds me of the Lion King when they're going through the elephant graveyard for the first time.
Oh yeah,
Bunch of big bones everywhere and it's smoky, and it's even though it's during the day, it's still dark. It's like what a way to yeah. Go ahead.
Sorry. I was just gonna say the shot I'm thinking about. Well, the shots I'm thinking about is, one the engineer ship.
Mm-hmm.
You know how vast that is and how distant things can be. The other shot I'm thinking of is when Brett is looking up where the water is dripping, and you see like some of these things are like covered in mist and something like that. And the third shot I'm thinking about is actually some of the shots they have in Alien 3, with the prison being in the distance and such like that.
Necromorphs, even the ship itself is a bit of an unknowable terror. The remake's detail is insanely better. The fog's not as opaque, so you can clearly see across the gondola and even make out the fine details of the ceiling and walls. It's not bad, and maybe they would have done it this way if they could back in the day, but it ended up looking surreal because of that limitation. Now don't get me wrong, I could do comparison shots all day showing that the remake looks fucking awesome. One of my worries going in was that the environments would have that Halo CE anniversary effect. You know, where they saw all those brutal surfaces and decided they needed to be greebled up by Alienware.
Yeah, it's not only that, but you'll notice that between the two different graphics of Halo Combat Evolved, that the anniversary just brightens things to like an unusual blue a lot of the time. And the blue, and if you play enough of Anniversary, which I didn't because it was so nauseating to look at, is that a lot of the environments are extremely blue a lot of the time, and even in the Silent Cartographer, the blue will just be extremely blinding at times.
Yeah, it is aggressive with the lighting.
The only thing I liked in the remake graphics is the first part of 343 in the jungle, which I'm like, yeah, this looks pretty good. But like, but that's about it.
Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, like, I just like the Alienware comparison. Like,
yeah, because I don't know, they because people say that they're trying to borrow assets from Reach and
no,
they did.
Reach and 3. No, I know they did in terms of modeling and stuff like that, but in terms of look, of like
Of
the overall
style.
world.
Yeah.
It absolutely does not borrow anything from Reacher 3, because Reacher 3 actually had good aesthetics to them in terms of look.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's like Reach looks better than the remake of Combat Evolved, and so does the Halo 3 Ring. It looks completely different.
Yeah.
That's definitely not the case here. I have examples like that where I enjoyed the mood more, but overall it's a massive improvement. The original has plenty of examples that were lower on detail that they probably didn't want that way. The mining deck was kind of rusted yellow. You still get the feeling of the area, but with new technology, you can now show the layers of dirt packed onto all the machinery. All of
That's pretty cool.
I
There's a lot of good details and stuff that showing up the graphical quality of it.
I personally think that whatever engine they're using for the
Mhm.
Dead Space remake, they should have absolutely used that in like the Silent Hill 2 remake, or possibly use it in a Silent Hill 1 remake, because they would absolutely nail the darkness aesthetic. Uh,
Mhm. Oh,
I did,
so there are
this
like,
en-
yeah, go ahead.
sorry, I was just gonna say this engine is absolutely brilliant. In fact, I'm gonna look up what the Dead
It
Space
is it
remake.
Frostbite? Um,
It might be Frostbite engine.
I just hope to God it's not Unreal.
it's probably Unreal 5.
What and what engine is Dead Space Remake using? Let's see. Oh, it is the Frostbite engine.
Hey, it looks like that because that's the same engine used in Battlefront 2. And
Yeah, and Battlefront 2 looks amazing.
mhm. Gameplay notwithstanding, yeah.
That's why you get the Kyber mod, dude. Battlefield 1 uses Frostbite 3. Frostbite is a really good engine. More
It-
games
well,
should use it.
not all games should use it, but it's all about like if it's applicable to that game or not. It's sometimes engines don't work, and
Yeah, yeah, I can agree to that.
you know what I mean. I understand what you mean, but yeah.
For some reason, fucking EA is able to master the Frostbite engine, but BioWare just cannot.
Mm.
Because BioWare used the Frostbite engine for Mass Effect Andromeda and Dragon Age the Veilguard, and it's like, what the
Yeah.
fuck is BioWare doing?
Well, they're using the Frostbite engine to like make it shinier, and it doesn't do that. It's not the game
Yeah,
for it's not the engine, I don't think, for that.
it's awful.
the surfaces and textures are now packed with detail. Their sci-fi setting is more realized, and the body horror elements look grosser than ever. Flesh surfaces actually look wet and reflective,
Oh, I
sometimes
love
having
that.
touches
I
like bones.
fucking love
Oh,
that. That is like some I don't know what movie I'm thinking of, but
The Thing?
has
ooh, it could
it
be.
might be the thing. Oh,
It's
actually, I think
aliens. Actually, I'm
yeah,
thinking of aliens.
yeah, I think I'm thinking of Alien again, the first Alien, because the shots of like Ripley in the Nostromo while it's like dark and lit up with a bit of orange as she's trying to escape it. That's what that shot of him floating in that area that was so dimly lit with with like the orange lighting reminded me of. It's so awesome in
Yeah,
terms
I
of
mean,
look.
it's. I do believe that art is made by video games because they are art. You know, it's like you can take a
Yes.
screenshot and it's like, boom, look at that, it's art.
I I got into an argument with someone a long time ago over
Mm.
whether video games were art or not. I
Films were not.
I
Well, it's kind of funny. Films were not considered art. Graphic novels were not considered art. It just takes a while for the rest of the world to catch up. You know.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, this shot reminds me of Aliens, which like she has to go through like going for Newt and like going into the flesh part. It's like ew. It's like
The shot I was mainly talking about was the one where he was floating in the air as
I know what you mean. Yeah.
yeah.
Sticking out, you have a much better sense of the human form being melted into soup. Not only does it look
Something else I
massively
was gonna
better,
say
but when
is
it came to the
flood from
necromorphs, they
the
tied it
Halo
into the
2
gameplay.
anniversary.
I'm sorry.
The the grave mind from the Halo 2 anniversary, just the way the flood look in that game.
Oh
It
yeah.
looks fantastic. Like
The yeah,
it doesn't look
I don't know how to
perfect.
I don't know how to describe it other than meaty.
It is sort of like how messy it is also how good it is. Like it doesn't look structured in a way that's um it's trying to construct its way to have a mouth and all that stuff, but it's incorrect in some places, which makes it more grounded and realistic. You know, it's like that's good design.
Not only does it look
Talking
massively
about
better,
the
but when it came
Dead Space ones.
No. The I'm talking about the grave mind. When it starts to talk on
Ah.
that stuff, you can see imperfections in it. And it's like, but that's on purpose. So it looks like it was trying to build something instead of something that was structured by a dev, you know.
Yeah, and the fun part about the Gravemind and the Halo 2 anniversary was that me and Redacted actually saw that there was concept art or art that was used in the encyclopedia of Halo that actually matches what they would later use for the Gravemind in Halo 2 anniversary.
Pretty neat.
Yeah.
to the
And
necromorphs,
you can also see teeth inside of its like throat.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking weird.
Look at this thing. That's gross. Oh gosh.
Dear Lord, it. Yeah, you know what that reminds me of. It reminds me a
A
little bit of
clawed
like
toilet. Oh, sorry.
I was actually gonna say it looks kind of like the how the cordyceps look in Last of Us.
That too.
I was gonna say a moldy garbage disposal.
Mm.
Ew.
Resident Evil 7, the beginning of Resident Evil 7 always makes me it made me gross out a little bit. Like, ew.
The table. Ugh.
Yeah, the table is just absolutely. Resident Evil 7 isn't that great, but it's got the look down. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
they tied it into the gameplay in a really cool way. You don't just shoot off a limb anymore, you have to tear through it. The skin, the muscle, down to the bone. This can slow them to a crawl when their muscles are torn apart, or skeletonize them. One of the gnarliest deaths you can get was getting your head replaced by a dividers. Now with necromorphs,
Oh, look at that. Look at that.
That was something that was
cool.
something that always caught my eye when my dad was playing Dead Space 2 was just how brutal some of the deaths are.
It definitely got that from Resident Evil 4. Because Resident Evil 4 was like almost like the same game. So they're like brutal deaths or something you need.
If they ever remake Dead Space 2, I would absolutely love to see the daycare section in like
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh god, please no. That is one reason why I don't want Dead Space 2 to get remade is the daycare. I already felt like weirded out enough with the dead babies. I don't need to
Dead toddlers.
I don't need to see that in HD, please.
or peeling you could damage one and fail. It makes it even better. The huge variety of slasher models now adds a lot to the game. The undead's uniforms now reflect where they were dying inside in their job in the previous life. It was a great addition in Dead Space 2 and just as great here. Well, actually, even better. With the new peeling system, they can have different sections of hardened skin or body armor to crunch through.
This is something that games have been trying to figure out for a very long time since I think was it Quake 1 or Quake 2?
I don't know.
And I'm talking mainly about the mechanics in the engine where if you shoot a certain part of an enemy, like flesh bits will come off and stuff like that. I'm trying to remember if it's sorry, there I think that was like an ambulance or something. I don't know.
Yeah. That was weird.
And there's a helicopter. What the fuck happened?
Are they chasing a robber down there? Like,
Probably.
I don't know, but what was I saying? Oh yeah,
the police are looking for me. I don't know.
You were talking about location-based damage in like Quake or something.
Yeah.
Mm.
It was either Quake 1 or 2 that did this, and even then it wasn't that complicated. They just simply had
Mm.
different models that would change depending on how much you damaged them. Uh, but you know, we've been learning this throughout all of gaming. I think it was even the case with like Mortal Kombat 9. I think Mortal Kombat 9 was the first to do this, where as you're fighting the character, like more and more damage can be seen on them, and
That happened in
and,
Silent
and,
Hill
and
Homecoming, where it's like if you hit somebody with the fire axe, that impact would still be there.
yeah, and I remember being very impressed when Doom Eternal did it, and look, whether or not we have positive things to say about Doom Eternal, I still think the flesh tear system was a really good addition uh, to the Doom games, because it definitely added impact to your enemies, and I think it looks really good here as well, because now it adds more complication to defeating your enemies rather than just shooting the limb off. Now you gotta make sure that you tear the right pieces of flesh off before you can tear it off completely. And I think
Mm.
that I think that really adds to the game. And I'm speaking from somebody who hasn't even played the first Dead Space. I yeah.
The first Dead Space had this thing. It didn't. What it would complicate stuff with is that some people have like, um, what do you call it? Prosthetic metal limbs, and you couldn't
Or-
cut those off. So you had
Or
to,
armor on their legs,
or
the
yeah,
soldiers.
or so you had to switch where sometimes you're more comfortable with the legs or the arms. You would have to just switch. So it's like, so you couldn't just um rely upon what you always do. But in this
Yeah.
one, it's not just armor and prosthetics and stuff. You have to deal with like tougher limbs. So it's like, the flamethrower is actually really good in the remake, unlike the original. So
Yeah, it actually has use.
making you pay more attention to even your basic enemies. It does make distinguishing the enhanced necromorphs trickier than before, but it's a good trade-off. It also helps to make some scares more effective, as figuring out which necromorph is actually playing dead is a lot harder with so much variety, and they ambush me more times than ever. As a bonus, I like that some wear engineer uniforms and you find way more dead engineers in general, because the engineering suit has always looked fantastic, but it's scattered around more to make it seem more mundane in its world and you more vulnerable. Isaac's suits themselves have a lot of new detail in their complexity and how they reflect light. They can freeze over, you can watch the ice melt off, and then there's the blood. You get a lot of blood on you. This is all welcome. It's hard to stress enough just how big of a visual upgrade the game is. That said, there are some changes I really don't like, and the first are suit related. I've
Okay.
okay, yeah.
always liked her starting uniform. The helmet looks like a death trap that was designed by a computer using survivorship bias. Like, how little can we spend on the metal for the face where most of our engineers will make it? The suit itself looks like onesie pajamas, except for they had to add metal to keep the dude alive. It's much more armored up now and resembles the level 3 suit. It seems kind of cynical, like people know who John Dead Space is, so he should look like that when the game starts. Though I guess that ship has sailed. Does Gunnar Wright deserve to have his face in the game? Definitely. Is it still odd, and do I miss Schlubby Isaac? Absolutely. I think people made this a way bigger deal since he does keep his helmet on most of the game anyways, but the new cast and story is something I'll get to in a bit. Anyhow, the other suit change I was baffled by.
That is something that weirded me out, because yeah, while I didn't play the original Dead Space, there was still Dead Space 2 in my head when I was imagining what Isaac Clarke looked like. And when I saw Isaac's face in the remake, I was a little weirded out, because I was
Mm,
like, wait, that doesn't look like Isaac. What the hell?
well, it's the voice actor, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, this
Uh,
was when they were this actually I'm pretty sure this trend is still going on where where they're just designing the characters to look like their voice actors for some reason.
They do this in movies too, because they did it with the Incredible Hulk in the first Avengers movie, where they made him look more like Mark Ruffalo, and then they just kept making him look more and more like Mark Ruffalo as the movies went on, and it got pretty annoying, because I was actually a fan of the Incredible Hulk look from his solo movie.
Yeah.
But this is a trend that games are doing that annoys me a little bit. It annoyed me the most with Spider-Man because I actually really liked the Peter Parker look they went with in PS4, and then they just decided to change it to look more like Yuri. They say it looks more like Yuri Lowenthal, but I don't believe them.
It was the military suit. When the Valor first called, I had one immediate thought. Is that fucking Spawn?
Would you know the devil if you saw him? Would you know his face, his eyes? Would you feel chilled in his presence?
How did they... What happened to the bulky murder machine?
Can you answer the question I've just asked?
I was confused by this one. I've been very tempted to frame one of the original The Stars Are Ours posters somewhere inappropriate. I feel no temptation in this one, the legs have been cut out from under it. I will say that I think I get what they were going for. See, Dead Space has always incorporated tons of ribbing into its visual design. The most obvious and constant example is Isaac's suit. It always looked like it was made to protect against space hazards rather than combat. It has gaps all over the place which still makes him look vulnerable. Even in his nerd final form, he has a lot of exposed neck and chest and other vital areas. The military suit was designed to be shot at, so it has a big chest plate in the front. The undersuit areas look stiffer, like there's still armor but just a flexible, weaker version of it. It still has that ribbing, just much more plated. But maybe it wasn't as ribbed as it could be because again, ribbing is everywhere. The Ishimura itself is a giant space corpse with a huge exposed ribcage. It's also...
That's interesting, how, like, he's comparing to, like, the style of the game has a bunch of ribs everywhere.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Well,
The Ishimura has a very bony look to it.
it's sort of like, it's kind of funny that it looks like a ribcage and you're going onto it and it's already dead and you have to wake it back up. So it's like,
Yeah.
man, that's some symbolism right there.
Definitely.
a fun way to convey that humanity is dying. Even the ships we're using to rip planets apart look like big corpses. But again, if you go looking, this design is everywhere. Guardrails, light fixtures, containers, the save station, the trams. There's a design document somewhere that says, why be straight when it can be a rib? The thing is, near everything you see is also a bulky industrial nightmare too. When it comes to the Valor, that's no different, but I can see how they wanted to change the military up. Instead of keeping them in bulky, combat diving suits, give them something more form-fitting. Still imposing, but technologically advanced. Like it's a kind of exoskeleton that contours perfectly to the body and helps you move and fight better. Which is all well and good until you apply that to the face too, and then it looks silly. There's a time and a place for Warhammer. I could see it working for some kind of infiltrator, like if it was a super tight, stealth-cloaking catsuit. For a space grunt, it's too much of a comic book villain. There were some visual bugs in the last...
He does look like Venom. Like, I agree with that, but like, I don't know how to feel. How do you feel about it?
You mean Spawn?
No. He looks, yeah, Spawn or like, what's the other Marvel guy who shoots guns?
Although
Punisher.
Punisher
I
doesn't have a skull mask. He has a skull on his shirt.
I know, but
Yeah.
it just reminds me of Punisher. It's all.
I do want to ask Redacted because he said that there's a time and a place for Warhammer. Do you think that suit looks like a Warhammer design?
Not really. The helmet kind of looks similar to what a Space Marine chaplain might wear, but honestly, it looks more similar to like a sci-fi version of Ghost Rider. At least the helmet.
Well,
But that's not really, you know, it's like, this one skull-shaped object looks similar to this other skull-shaped object. It's like, of course they're going to look similar. They're both based on a skull.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't mind it that much, but it is. He found his pet peeve. He found his pet peeve.
I think the helmet is a bit much, but I do like the rest of the suit design.
Yeah, it looks like Stormtrooper with a skull face, and I'm like, all right.
I don't really see that.
Because it's white. That's the reason. I don't know.
I don't want to compare the suit to really anything except for the helmet. The rest of the suit looks pretty original as far as a
Yeah.
combat military suit is.
Give them something more form-fitting.
I do think it looks a bit too similar to the engineering suit.
Mm-hmm. It should be less ribbed if they're going to be different.
Yeah. Like when he was comparing it to the other one, you should at least, if you want to include the ribs, have them be like layered on top of like actual armor plating.
Mm-hmm. I like the bulky one better, in fact.
Yeah.
Still imposing, but technologically advanced. Like it's a kind of exoskeleton that contours perfectly to the body and helps you move and fight better. Which is all well and good until you apply that to the face too, and then it looks silly. There's a time and a place for Warhammer. I could see it working for some kind of infiltrator, like if it was a super tight, stealth-cloaking catsuit. For a space grunt, it's too much of a comic book villain. There were some visual bugs, and the last 2 chapters had random stuttering not tied to any setting I could find. Others have had way worse luck, so your mileage will vary. Those issues aside, it is an impressive looking game. There's a sequence so impressive, I would feel bad for showing it. So, onto the sound. When it comes to music, it's not the original composer, but it sounds just like the Dead Space you'd expect. Lots of tense, very alien-inspired tension music. Violin players have a seizure when necromorphs show up. You could pull some choice sections out from either game, and I couldn't tell you what.
Have a seizure.
Yeah, that is very accurate for the soundtrack in the remake. They love their violins.
Oh, that's every sort of horror game when they have a budget. It's like, oh, we could have put violins on the back of the person's neck.
Well, that is something that the Dead Space series had, because a lot of horror games still have their own unique vibes to soundtracks. Like, for example, Silent Hill used a lot of like a very atmospheric ambience with like sounds of metal or rusting and stuff like that,
Depending on it.
or dragging. Amnesia likes to go for a more classical feel and slower vibe. And the Dead Space series, as far as I know, has always used like extremely hyperactive like violins,
Orchestra.
Orchestra, like a rising chaotic orchestra. Yeah.
And then it's nothing. It's nothing, or it's like it goes from 0 to 10 really quick. It's
Which was from which. That said, I did notice a lot that was new during the rising tension music. Some tracks would let horns or deeper cellos stick out, kind of reminded me of like the music in A Plague Tale. So it's good at maintaining tension until it gets too crazy, but Dead Space has always been like that.
Also, I love the sound design of Outside in 0G. Hear the muffled gun and breathing and all that stuff. It really does create like a different type of atmosphere of like, oh my gosh, I need to get inside as quick as possible. Even if you have like 2 minutes of air, it's like, I don't want to be out here any longer than I have to. It's like... By the way,
beautiful.
Yeah, it is, and like this is why I recommend this guy.
I sadly didn't get to the parts where I was spending most of the time going out into space, but hearing that soundtrack is just like, oh god, that gives you this is gonna be funny thing to say, but gives you sort of that fucking arousal feeling when you hear that music. It's like it's like you know when you hear a piece of music and you're like, oh, that's great.
Yes, I know what you're talking about, but don't say arousal.
Yeah, don't.
I didn't know how else to describe it.
Excitement,
pleasurable. I don't know, like
pleasurable. I think pleasurable is worse.
I was trying to make it less sexual, and you went with more.
more.
but when I heard those like cellos in that space sequence that we just saw, it was just like, oh, that's fucking beautiful. That that
Mhm.
that is like some gorgeous music musical moments. Oh, that is definitely that I don't know what that instrument is called,
It's a
but whatever
cello.
they
Hmm.
no, not the cello. It was that kind of flute sound that they just did at the end of that. That definitely reminds me of like it, you could definitely grab a lot of inspiration from Alien when it comes to this game.
It reminds me of
Uh
like the early, sort of mid '80s and late '70s sort of horror music. Like Ghostbusters had a lot of that too, where it's like they would have very calm moments during like when people are when she's walking inside of the station, you hear the cello and like the music change, and it's like, oh, something serious about to go down, you know.
Air quality is falling fast. If you've got liquid nitrogen, we gotta fix hydroponics.
On it.
Look at him. So this is the frozen or whatever, the cryo chamber, and look at his armor.
yeah,
It's
it's
all
got some
iced
nice
over,
frost.
and so his
And,
gun too. Like, oof, that's cool.
I like the white frost effects. It's just I was I'm asking for a little bit more in terms of the detail. Like add like a particle ice to it.
Mhm.
Well, that's you wouldn't really have ice particles coming off of it.
No. What I mean is like, you know how when you freeze food for a while, you know, ice starts to form around it as like little
Yes.
particles and such like that, and they start building
Yes.
up more and more. That's what I mean. Is like I want to see a little bit more
I-
of that on the suit.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, but
Okay.
okay, I get what you're saying, but
It's really hard.
yeah, one that would be very graphically intensive, and two, that would take a while.
Mhm.
That would take a while of him like being stuck in there. This is good enough for just okay, we're in a cold room, the air is gonna start like condensing on the metal bits because they're very cold.
Fast. If you've got liquid nitrogen, we gotta fix hydroponics.
On it. Keep trying to reach Hammond. Mercer, I don't think he's done yet.
It's also worth mentioning they brought back the technique from the later games, where when you get a new suit, it's an event. In the original, the ambient music would just keep going, but in the remake, they give you that little moment of victory. Maybe the most significant change is that Isaac now speaks. This is something that affects the story more, but there's still cool stuff to point out here. For one, he delivers his lines differently based on how much health he has.
What's your status? Do you have the captain's writ?
Fuck me! Ugh. Transmitting codes now. I saw it, Hammond. A flying one turned the captain's body into another one of those things.
Do you have the captain's writ?
Fuck me! Ugh. Transmitting codes now. I saw it, Hammond. A flying one turned the captain's body into another one of those things.
I can't remember the last time I've seen this outside of an RTS or tactics game. To add on to the good ideas from Dead Space 2
well,
pile, Isaac...
I guess in that case, look, this isn't really the same thing because it's not dependent on health in this game. But the Spider-Man games do this sort of change depending on like whether you're in the air swinging or when you're just on a building or something like that. There's like a difference in dialogue tone.
Yes.
Depending on what you're doing.
That happens in Red Dead Redemption 2, where it's like if you're far away, they yell. So it's like, or they just wait for you to catch up again, and then they're like, and then you know, and stuff like that. But I think he means that like, if you're low on health, then this do change it. I think that's what he's talking about mainly. about how like he's never seen that, but in a RTS or whatever.
Once again,
That
goes
wasn't
nuts.
that wasn't even my quote redacted.
I couldn't remember exactly what you said. I approximated.
I said that the music gives you that arousal feeling.
Oh yeah. Okay. I'll,
he's like Kira in part 4. He's like, we never heard that music.
He hasn't seen part 4.
Doesn't matter.
When he keeps stomping. This is great because no one on the planet can deliver a frustrated swear like Gunner Wright. To capitalize on this,
I love that. F you.
Just going for the general fuck you.
Well, that's the thing though. I really appreciate that in Dead Space because like that is something absolutely people would do. Like because if you don't know, like a lot of people in war or in stressful situations will repeat stuff that just comes out of their mouths without even a it's like that's why they chew gum more time in wartime than any others, because it's like it relieves stress just by you doing something with your mouth and chewing on something. It's like it's such a real thing. It's a stress reliever.
gift. He has lines for when he's out of ammo too. When his tool stops working and he starts wishing death in the company that made it under his breath, that is so real.
Leave it to fucking CEC, you piece of shit!
Isaac is a man of...
I wouldn't exactly call that under his breath.
Yeah, true.
That is very explicit.
Yeah.
He's very tired.
So real.
Anyone who's worked in IT knows this pain.
Oh, dude, anyone who works retail knows this pain. Like...
Piece of shit!
Isaac is a man of the people. The ambient sound design is also very good and layered. I've got no complaints on that front. There are lots of fun new touches, like being able to hear when your boot's magnets are on in 0G. When it comes to enemy and weapon sound effects, like any remake, it's mixed around, but leaning on good. The necromorphs have a lot more variety in their sounds, but it can be less guttural and kind of silly sometimes. Especially in some scripted stuff. Less space monster and more being drunk and remembering you have a pizza in the oven.
Okay, that's a little funny.
That was so good. I'll play that again.
That's just Ted. He's having an off day.
Fun new touches, like being able to hear when your boot's magnets are on in 0G. When it comes to enemy and weapon sound effects, like any remake, it's mixed around, but leaning on good. The necromorphs have a lot more variety in their sounds, but it can be less guttural and kind of silly sometimes. Especially in some scripted stuff. Less space monster and more being drunk and remembering you have a pizza in the oven.
That sounds like a drunk man who just realized that she took the fucking kids.
She took the kids.
I have a pizza in the oven.
Isaac, she took the necromorph babies.
There are some sounds too burned into my brain for their own good, like the exploder. It was a shrill, attention-grabbing sound that warned you of the wriggling custard IED heading your way, which they sort of kept, but...
Dude, this guy has a way with words. Like, custard IED.
I have watched a lot of Mandalore gaming stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I haven't watched him in a while, but I've watched a lot of his old stuff in the past.
Mm-hmm.
He has a way with words. I love it.
This is like, yeah, this is not too long ago, so it's he's still going strong.
But more subdued. Again, faithful, not bad, just different. Others sound near identical or even better than before. Everyone will have their preferences, but I think there is one change that's unbelievably bad. When the new plasma cutter was revealed, it sounded bizarre, but in the final product it sounds faithful and gets weightier with upgrades. What's really been done dirty is the pulse rifle. Until the third game trivialized them, Dead Space guns were always eldritch terrors from the nightmares of Californians. A character in the first game gets a dodgeball sight.
Nightmare Californians. Gee whiz.
California has to put warning labels on food that contain like 0.0000 something 1% of like something that may cause you cancer. They have nightmares over a feather falling down.
Oh,
But
dude.
dude,
You're...
it reminds me of those fucking medication commercials that are like, "This will be great for your day, for your day to day, like breathing or some shit like that." And then when they have to list off the side effects, it's like side effects include
May
ultra
include.
cancer.
May include. Yeah. It's like, cause that's full disclosure. And it's like, man, are you sure it's worth it? Like... It just reminds me of like imagine Forrest Gump when the feather gets off the briefcase, like okay
Like it's that moment where you realize that the law is very much fucking those companies over.
Well, there is, like, you do have to say, it's like people can be killed this way, where it's like people have severe peanut allergies, and peanut dust can get into all kinds of foods that don't even have peanuts, like, even on them, like fruit or vegetables.
Yeah, just cross-contamination.
Yep,
in
it
like,
can
the
happen.
factory.
It just happens. So
It just works.
Their chest
just
by a
works.
handgun. The firearms of the future are brutal and rip right through flesh, which is devastating to a person, but only slows down the necromorphs. The rounds going right through them don't bother them much, so you had to sever their limbs off with pure DACA. It also showed why Isaac was so successful by using space power tools compared to a loud killing machine. The rifle looks and sounds like it should be a world ender, but it's not even close to your best weapon. So in the remake, they made the sounds more reflective of the weapon's actual power, which is a good idea, but now the pulse rifle sounds like a joke. Weapons in the series look and sound more...
here's the thing about the pulse rifle. It's not that useful against common enemies, but the bosses are ended by the pulse rifle in both games. Like
Especially the grenades.
and in fact, Dead Space 2 was also the same way. I defeated every boss with the pulse rifle because it's just better. Then so it's a rapid fire DACA thing that you don't need that has so much ammo to it.
powerful with upgrades. So to show how bad it is, here's a fairly entry-level pulse rifle in the original.
Sounds nice and chunky.
Gee whiz, man, how many bullets do you need to put into that thing?
Now, here's the fully upgraded version in the remake.
Yeah, it doesn't have the...
I don't think it's that bad of a
No,
change,
it's not
but
that
I
bad.
can see where he's coming from.
Yeah, he has...
It's not bad, but it definitely has less weight to it.
It has less bass to it. Like, there's less oomph in its sound effect.
The rounds are slow, the stopping power is gone, and above all else...
Oh, the stopping power is gone. That really sucks. Like...
Well...
Man,
don't-
that sound...
Yeah?
Granted, it's been a while since I've played the original Dead Space, but I don't remember it having that much stopping power against the regular necromorphs.
I remember it stunning them, but like, yeah, it's been a minute.
is rough. It's no wonder the owners of these things keep fighting it. It does feel like a nitpick in the grand scheme of a game with such solid sound design, but it seeps into a detail I liked so much about the setting that I can't ignore it. It's definitely fixable if they think it's worth the effort. I guess now's a good time to talk about all the other weapons and the gameplay changes, which there are a ton of. Overall, the new arsenal plays fantastically, and there were lots of good adjustments to pull this off. For starters, the bench upgrading system was overhauled. Every weapon has significantly more stats to improve, and 3 special modifications. The special upgrades can be simpler, like giving a weapon way more ammo, or an increased range or explosion radius, but they can get more exotic, like adding multiple bounces to the Ripper blades, adding damage over time to the cutter, or helping your force gun create a black hole. and you're not spaced out by empty node sockets anymore, the upgrade might just be a smaller increment. This makes it feel more rewarding compared to throwing power nodes at nothing for a while. To give a quick overview, the plasma cutter is still your best friend in work.
I agree. I don't like empty nodes. It feels like you're just wasting your node at that point. I agree.
The empty nodes are just bleh.
Mm.
Course. It now has a very funny melee upgrade that lets you Mike Tyson your enemies. The pulse rifle is at risk and needs guidance. It does keep up with the series tradition where it gets a new alt fire in every single game. This time it's a proximity mine, though in reality, I mainly used it as the Dead Space 2 grenade launcher. The pulse rifle is the best.
Yeah.
Jeez, look at
Isaac
that.
Clarke is a space
Oh, no!
communications and checking on his
Oh, Jesus.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
it went all the way back to the beginning.
grand scheme of a game with such solid sound. It was a good time to talk about all the other
No!
special upgrades can be simpler, like giving a weapon way more ammo, or an increased range or explosion radius.
Let's
But they
keep
can
it
get
here.
more exotic, like adding multiple bounces to the Ripper blades, adding damage over time to the cutter, or helping your force gun create a black hole. And you're not spaced out by empty node sockets anymore, the upgrade might just be a smaller increment. This makes it feel more rewarding compared to throwing power nodes at nothing for a while. To give a quick overview, the plasma cutter is still your best friend and workhorse. It now has a very funny melee upgrade that lets you Mike Tyson your enemies. The pulse rifle is at risk.
Wait,
and needs guidance.
I think I realized what you guys were saying now about empty nodes. I do remember that was like a thing in the original games where where there was like a node that gives you nothing, but you need to access it if you want to access the stuff in front of it, right?
Okay, yeah, hold on.
Yeah.
Let me get to the original real quick. And
The other weapons and the gameplay changes,
and-
which there are a ton of. Overall,
show you
the
real
new
quick.
arsenal plays fantastically, and there were lots of good adjustments to pull this off. For starters, the bench
is that the original?
Those, no,
upgrading
those
system is overhauled.
those aren't
Every
empty
weapon-
nodes. Those are ones
Here
that
it
are
is.
There we
unlocked
go.
yet.
There we
There's
go.
the original.
Yeah, you see the empty nodes between that one and the cap and the other cap?
Yeah.
It's like, what's the point?
Yeah, that's annoying. That's really annoying.
But you do have enough. It's just why would I ever want to do that?
Well, part of it is
Mhm.
you can still get to the other cap from the one that's above it. You just you kind of just have to be smart about it.
I'll just go around it and go to damage and then cap instead. Like, yep.
Yeah, exactly.
But like, but still, it is sort of like I'd rather all my choices matter than not one. But I will
Yeah.
say the plus side of this is a lot shorter. It's like you don't need as many nodes as this one does.
has significantly more stats to improve.
Look how big this is. Like you need a
Yeah.
lot more nodes.
Yeah, but at the same time, you have more of the ship to explore. So
True.
you're going to get more stuff anyways.
And 3 special modifications. The special upgrades can be simpler, like giving a weapon way more ammo, or an increased range or explosion radius, but they can get more exotic, like adding multiple bounces to the Ripper blades, adding damage over time to the cutter, or helping your force gun create a black hole. And you're not spaced out by empty node sockets anymore, the upgrade might just be a smaller increment. This makes it feel more rewarding compared to throwing power nodes at nothing for a while. To give a quick overview, the plasma cutter is still your best friend and workhorse. It now has a very funny melee upgrade that lets you Mike Tyson your enemies. The pulse rifle is at risk and needs guidance. It does keep up with the series tradition where it gets a new alt fire in every single game. This time it's a proximity mine, though in reality, I mainly used it as the Dead Space 2 grenade launcher. The pulse rifle is the best weapon to... The flamethrower was a very welcome surprise. With
He didn't even mention it. He's like, it's best to do anyways, flamethrower.
upgrades, it's the second best in the series after Extraction. It's excellent for crowd control and weakening or slowing down larger enemies, and the alt fire goes with that by putting down a divine wall of flame that Ramses II can feel the heat of. It's very cathartic. Good flamethrowers are rare in games. The old contact beam's primary fire is the new one's secondary fire. It smites down firstborns with a destructive fury that even Ramses II can feel the grief of. Its primary fire is now a continuous melting energy beam. Ammo for this is rare and expensive, but it's always a joy to use on the tougher enemies. Fully upgraded, you can obliterate most of your problems. The Ripper is still good as your not melee weapon. But the true appeal of it now is that, with upgrades, the blade can now violently and unpredictably ricochet up to 4 times. It has some homing on your enemies too, so you just watch the thing ricochet around murdering everyone. If you're not careful, it can even deflect back and hit you, though the damage is minimal. It's always worth the risk for the sick-owned zones. The Force Gun is still the premier knockback champion and Short King Eliminator. It's also become one of the game's most brutal weapons. Up close, it can rip a
Look at
necromorph's
that.
skin off like taking a...
Look at that! Holy crap! Are you guys still there? I hope.
I never needed to see a naked
Worth the
necromorph.
risk for the sick-owned zones. The Force Gun is still the...
Froggo, you still there?
Froggo?
Did he say he was leaving, or did he just get out of the call?
I don't know.
Oh. Alright.
premier knockback champion and Short King Eliminator. It's also become
Look at this before and after. It's
one
like
of the game's most brutal weapons. Up close,
jeez, look at that. Its flesh got ripped off. Ouch.
You
it
have
can rip
lost
a necromorph's
skin
off like taking a
privileges.
tissue out of a box. Anyone within about 2 meters of it is exiled right into the bone zone. The alt fires a gravity well
Into the bone zone.
Yeah, like I said, you have lost skin privileges.
Yeah, did you see that, Froggo? It's like they had skin, now they don't. It's like
Yeah, I just came back and I
oh, I'm
saw
sorry.
that, yeah.
Okay.
that sends them
It's
into
okay.
the wild ride. The line gun is still your mega cutter. No
Oh, that was Home Alone. Listen
What?
to it. Just
brutal weapons. Up close, it can rip a necromorph's skin off like taking a tissue out of a box. Anyone within about 2 meters of it is exiled right into the bone zone. The alt fires a gravity well that sends them into the wild ride.
yeah, that was Marv being electrocuted in Home Alone.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
The line gun is still your
Where
mega
he
cutter.
turns into a fucking skeleton.
Yes. He loves using that clip, so that's how I
Yeah.
know it. So
No changes on the primary. They did change the secondary into a beam trap that's way easier to use than the old version. The traps can also be upgraded, and this is by far the most powerful weapon in the game. You could pretend you're playing Portal and drag a cube around. You don't have to, but with Kinesis, the line gun gives you the sweeping annihilation beams. Or SAB. Having trouble with literally anything? SAB. Oh, a quarantine? That's cute.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Fuck you, I cast laser.
quarantine. That's cute. That's a really good idea, though. It's like, yeah, that's really cool. I like that.
Tried a lot on the Ishimura. and
Hey, I
SAB
got
is
you a
pro-
present. It comes with a good fuck off beam.
Sorry.
Having trouble with literally anything?
I've got a
Sad.
package delivery.
Oh, a quarantine?
Says it's for
That's
fuck
cute.
you.
I've tried a lot on the Ishimura, and SAB is a program that works for me. It doesn't use ammo either, so I'm saving tons every week. It's firmly part of my lifestyle. Hell, you don't even need the cube, you can put this on anything. I get it's not for everyone though, so let's go back to the
Knowing my luck with just laser traps in games, I would end up setting that down and it would somehow roll over and just cut me in half.
You know what this reminds me of? BioShock 2. You have your first weapon has a trap 1 version, and you just plant that everywhere.
Yeah.
MSIM brain stuff. You could play through Dead Space using nothing but a plasma cutter and be just fine. That's still true here, but the peel system adds a lot of incentive to switch things up. The Force Gun can prescribe a decade of proactive instantly, and the Flamethrower can melt the flesh right off the bone. So by switching things around, you can make your standard weapons far more effective. When the skin and armor bits are stripped away, you can get right into proper surgery.
Having trouble with acne?
visual-
Just remove your skin.
In trouble with acne? Yeah, true.
Right off the bone. So by switching things around, you can make your standard weapons far more effective. When the skin and armor bits are stripped away, you can get right into proper surgery. It's visually easier to see how damaged a necromorph is now, and it just makes the combat more meaty and satisfying. I did notice 3 aspects about the combat that were different, with one being a change and the other 2 being a definite step down. The first is that Isaac is more nimble now. Not quite on Dead Space 2's level, but it feels like an in-between of those. In the original, the camera's much closer to Isaac, and he's clunkier to play. The trade-off is, his movement had a lot more weight to it. The stomp is quicker, more efficient, and has fun character lines now, but the original had some real power behind it. A stomp that would make Edward Norton uncomfortable. Your enemy is on the ground and it's time to go to work.
Edward Norton. Who is that? That sounds familiar. Does anyone know who that is?
Edward Norton.
That sounds familiar, doesn't it?
Are you guys talking about the fucking film actor?
Hang on.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Hang on,
Edward
I'm-
Norton.
He's
Edward
a
Norton.
stomp.
He was in
Yeah.
He was in Fight Club, American History. You guys remember?
Oh my
those?
gosh, I get it. Okay. He's
Yeah.
stomping on his okay. It's the sidewalk stomp.
Yeah,
Okay, gotcha.
yeah. Because I know Edward Norton, but when you guys were repeating it, I was like, wait, am I not thinking of the right guy? And I looked it up. I was like, no, I'm thinking of the right guy. Yeah.
Okay, I just remembered okay, that's cool.
Oh,
American History
yeah,
X. Yeah.
Yeah, the curb stomp from American History.
Yeah, that's what he was
Yeah.
thinking of. So that's that's awesome line.
I didn't know that's where that was from.
Oh yeah, American History X is a weird film, but it's not a bad one. It's
I mean, if you're making a movie where your main character is a neo-Nazi, it's gonna get weird.
true.
You see him winding his hip up to throw in so much power into it. It's not as responsive, but ideally the stomp was your victory move when the fight was over. This is tuned for active combat, so it has a faster wind-up and less power visually. The second game's was faster, but still slower than this. But it still maintained that energy by having a camera swing. So the idea behind the stomp is just kind of different this time. As for the aiming, it's a combination of the classic mode and the centered mode that Dead Space 2 introduced, and I definitely miss having actual lasers for targeting all the way down. Don't have much more to say there. Overall, the enemies have had good balance changes. A good example is the Pregnant used to be a slow enemy that you would usually take care of first, and now it's way more fast and aggressive. I used more stasis shots on them than ever. But when it comes to the slashers, I'm genuinely wondering if something is
God,
bugged.
Yeah.
he charges like a fucking fat guy who just realized they released new food at a Taco Bell.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking hell.
Charger's like Boogie going to get his Mountain Dew.
I knew
We released a new flavor, and he's just like charging at the fucking Walmart.
like he's a tank in Left 4 Dead, yeah.
I was playing on hard since Impossible is just hardcore mode now, which is kind of odd, so this is as good as they get. They'll approach in a more creepy, stalking way often, which is cool. The issue is, they don't always speed up, and when they do, it's this jaunty skip walk. It's like they put stuff in a performance capture guy and that's how you'd actually run with extra arms on your shoulders. And it's slow and awkward to the point that you can easily run around them. Compare this with how aggressive they used to be.
To be fair, them running like that probably is, fitting for a weird, deformed, mutated creature that they are, and it kind of fits with the whole they're not all there in terms of their humanity, and they're just weird. You know what I'm saying, right?
Not all there is a massive understatement, Froggo.
No, well, I mean, like, not all there in
Excuse me.
terms of like their physical prowess is what I'm trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sure. I see what he means, because they're very, like, once they get you, it's like, I'm going to run at you and claw you. It's like, yeah, you had to be careful. Which is, I see why he's kind of like, this is kind of slower in the remake. Like,
They have this animal fury to them, like every cell in my body wants you dead now. In the remake, they're more like slugs. Look at the time between one dropping in and then trying to murder me. That was maybe less than a second. To make up for this lack of speed, in most encounters, they'll drop another one behind you. This could happen in the first game too, but here you can flip a coin to decide whether to turn around. So my first thought was, okay, the peel system requires way more precision, they had to slow them down so you can aim at the part more carefully. Maybe I just wanted a higher difficulty? But on occasion they would do a jump charge at me, which was something. Then, loading up New Game Plus Plus to record something else, I saw one doing the freak charge. This was like a fucking Bigfoot sighting. Where do I find the habitat of this creature? Could there be more? Are they roaming free in other people's...
That guy woke up one morning and was like, "Oh boy, here I go killing again."
That man has had his coffee.
No,
that is
no,
just
that man didn't have his
that is
coffee yet.
That is a terrifying image. Just this like 6 foot tall naked dude with extra long arms and knives for hands.
Edward Scissorhands, no.
Fucking Bigfoot sighting. Where do I find the habitat of this creature? Could there be more? Are they roaming free in other people's games and this is just some kind of bug? I'm not sure what's happening, but if it is intentional, I would love for them to bring the original Impossible difficulty back that has more aggressive necromorphs. Like, that speed with their new health would probably be horrific on a controller, so I get why it could be like this, but I'd like the option, and this game is extremely good about its options. Anything new I wasn't a fan of, like the Kinesis indicator, I could just go turn off. As for how the game progresses, they added some outstanding additions. When you upgrade your suit, that unlocks more circuits you can spend nodes on, and this goes all the way down to the military suit. For the weapons, the special modifications will also open up new circuits, but you'll need to find them, and this is the best the exploration loop has been in the whole series. You always had to backtrack through the Ishimura, and now it's been opened up. Now you go through back hallways and elevators to reach the tram stations, and once you do, they're unlocked for your fast travel. If you want, you can walk all the way from the bridge to the engines, or just catch a train. It's not a loading screen either, you get to actually ride it, with all that implies. Oh god. You no longer use your precious power nodes to open doors, you have security clearance. This will increase naturally through the campaign, and as you revisit areas, you can unlock doors and containers that you couldn't before.
Clearance confirmed.
You're gonna
That
love
was a
that
change
sound.
that I massively loved. Not
What?
having to use the thing you upgrade your suit and your guns with to open doors.
I always use the nodes on doors because it's just always worth it. You get a lot more out of those than you did in the remake, but that's because you never go back there.
Well, no, they completely removed the whole you have to use a node to unlock a door system.
They did.
And I'm glad that they did that.
It is sort of a Metroidvania thing, but it's not too much of a head scratcher.
Especially because they added more upgrades to each thing.
Yeah, that's pretty much what he's saying here.
Yeah.
You can find supplies, upgrades, new bits of lore and story. The exploration is rewarding, and they also work to make the backtracking engaging. The old 3D map has been completely reworked into a new, better readable form, so finding the clearance locked doors is simple and pain-free. With the map big and interconnected, I do wish we had the Dead Space 2 tracker for finding stores and save stations easier, but this is still a...
Yeah, that is something that I do have a complaint about in the remake, is that like when you want to go to a certain place, it only goes toward objective. And it's
probably wanted to remain consistent with how Dead Space 1 did things.
I guess, but that wouldn't be too bad for me. But oh well. It is what it is.
It's better than what what fucking Campaign Evolved is doing. Is just like, oh, we're just gonna give you the shit from our newer games. What? Because fuck it, why not? We can't let the game be the game on its own. No, we need to add all this extra shit that we had in the other games, so that you don't accidentally feel fucking bored or whatever.
Yeah, you have Sprint, you have the shitty new looking Needler, you have a Grunt going into fucking orbit.
Yeah, anybody who doesn't know about the flying Grunt in Campaign Evolved's demo, check my Twitter. It's Froggo Boggins. I made like an edit of that fucking
you
clip.
chill.
No, it's a great edit. It's a great edit.
It is. It is.
It is a great edit. Both me and Froggo were just laughing our asses off when we saw that.
It's just like you couldn't just. Mm.
Great change. The game world itself has dynamic changes controlled by something called the Intensity Director. Returning through an area, machinery might start breaking down, or the power's out and it's pitch black. Different kinds of necromorphs can be lying in ambush, and on rare occasion, there might be enough to enjoy a bonus quarantine. Sometimes
Oh my
it's just
god! What the fuck? That guy was moving like he had 5-hour energy. Oh my god!
Oh yeah, I think that was one of the Twitchers.
Jesus!
Oh yeah, you mean those soldiers that have the
yeah, that have the stasis modules, but it's inverted, so it makes them undead Flash.
Mm-hmm. Undead Flash. You mean like Blackest Night?
Down, or the power's out and it's pitch black. Different kinds of necromorphs can be lying in ambush, and on rare occasion, there might be enough to enjoy a bonus quarantine. Sometimes it's just flickering lights and cultic whispers and the eldritch call of the marker. It keeps you on your toes and stops backtracking from feeling too mindless. It shakes up the game exploring and on replay. Besides the regular New Game Plus rewards, it has some bonuses in the form of a new ending to unlock, and a new variant called Phantom Necromorphs that show up. Even if you harness the power of paying, there's still just too much to unlock in one playthrough. So going back to fully gear up while facing new challenges and pursuing a new ending was immediately tempting. Even the Zero-G Frogger was completely reworked into the flying system from the later games, which is overall a huge improvement.
Oh yeah, so if you don't know, in the original, you would go from one surface to the other, and you would leap. And
like Frogger.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I'm just I'm trying to describe it not as Frogger because it is kind of descriptive, but it's also not prescriptive, you know? So, but still, it's like he assumes he's seen the first Dead Space. So that's
especially in the new space areas.
Yeah, which Froggo hasn't.
I know, but still, he gets the whole idea of like it's only between 4 surfaces that you dive to. And the thing I really liked about those at first is that you can get very disoriented, not knowing where you are at first, and you have to sort of gain your ground again. It's like, whoa, wait a minute. It's like, but in this version, it's like it hardly happens.
Yeah,
like
the flying one is definitely a lot easier to get your bearings with.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Thanks, some areas worked better in the old system, but also, I'm not going to pretend the Leviathan is some kind of high bar it had to reach. Stripping out the turret section was a big improvement and much more engaging for the asteroid section, but when it comes to the boss fight, they probably should have gotten rid of the turrets entirely instead of the weird half-mix it is now, but I get and appreciate how they were trying to keep it faithful. They added 3 self-pursued side quests to give Isaac some more agency, and following them up can change the dialogue in the main story. The reveals they can have are substantial and give you another reason to explore. Even with my issues, and the bugs that would pop up now and again, the moment-to-moment gameplay and exploring was a ton of fun. I have never clicked the New Game Plus button.
Oh my gosh, what did he do?
He threw a spike and pinned it to the wall.
Oh, he threw one of the Necromorph spikes. Oh, okay.
Either that or it was one of the... There's like these little like metal
pins,
little metal poles that you can find that have a little light on the end.
Mm-hmm.
Are you talking about like rebar or the science?
No,
it's
like not rebar. They look. It looks like some kind of like
pole
beacon
with a light on the end. Yeah.
Yeah. It looks like a beacon that you would plant, like on a planet to act as like a little navigator thing.
Pop up now and again. The moment-to-moment gameplay and exploring was a ton of fun. I have never clicked the New Game Plus button faster in a Dead Space game. Which brings us to the story, and if you know the broad strokes, they're all the same. Obviously, Isaac having a voice made him a stronger character. He technically had some commentary if you dug into the mission menu in the first game, but it was never anything substantial. The silence also gave it an isolated, clinical mood that this game doesn't have as strongly. But for this, I want to focus...
I'm glad he mentioned that, because having a silent protagonist lets you absorb the atmosphere as yourself, instead of a character doing it for you, but... with the voice protagonist, it does make him a stronger character.
Yeah, I think the added voice, because this is weird coming from me because I grew up watching my dad play Dead Space 2, so I was already witnessing Isaac Clarke speaking from the very beginning of me looking at Dead Space. So I'm not going to be as bothered by it as much as other people, or some people might be. But I really appreciate them having Isaac speak more without having him come off as a fucking cringe lord, as as
Or an
other
edge
games
lord,
would put it.
yeah.
It's just like because adding more dialogue to stuff can be tricky. You really got to pay attention to the situation, to the character, to how they would respond, instead of having the
People
Star
just
Wars
talk to you.
Outlaws or
Oh,
Yeah,
the Star Wars Outlaws or the Spider-Man Insomniac games.
it helps
Yeah.
that a lot of Isaac's dialogue in the remake or the remaster, whatever, is during conversations, and outside of that, he's not doing like quips or like jokes and shit. It's either exclamations that are pretty natural considering the situation he's in, or he's actually talking to someone.
It's pretty much the opposite of James Sunderland in Silent Hill 2 remake, where James will basically point out a lot of shit that's happening on screen, just in case you don't know. It's like, what's that stuff on the ground? Is like I played some of the Silent Hill 2 remake, guys, and for those of you who watched my playthrough of the original, I really liked the original, but I gave up on the remake because I just wasn't enjoying it at all.
The thing about like the original, and it's kind of like where it's like people are talking at you, but you don't respond. And that could be a little bit distracting sometimes because you are a person, but like the whole point is that you are the character themselves. You're kind of like absorbing everything. And having a voice to that can change it in a bad way, but like it's usually a death sentence, but it's actually not bad at all. They really did mix the two together. Like very well.
Focus on the story and characters over that kind of argument. Like 2, Isaac is an engineer now. Him being the one to come up with technical solutions feels more natural.
Seeing you in the control room. Any news on the engines?
Yeah, but it makes no sense. They're out of fuel. The centrifuge is offline. We're tethered to a 4 trillion ton payload. Without the engines, it's dragging us down to the planet.
Can you handle it alone?
Sure. Fix the centrifuge, get the fuel running, then do a full restart. But you'll need to stabilize our orbit from there.
Standing by. Fast as you can,
He talks like an actual engineer in this universe, and it's really nice.
It's also like I agree with Mandalore here because he's saying things that are like not just to his job, but it's also like he's coming with the solutions because that's his job in universe. So it makes it make more sense.
Yeah.
Daniels isn't answering her rig link. What's your status?
I found a shock pad I can use on the barricade. I'm heading back there now.
His delivery adds so much to the writing. There's a part where they're talking about being slowed down by ship issues, and Isaac points out it was intentional by the miners. But he says it in a way where you can hear the quiet pride he has in his coworkers.
Not malfunctions. Traps. The miners' way of holding the line.
It's a simple line, but how he said it gave more depth into what Isaac is about.
Dude, that's...
Yeah.
Every reviewer should be more like this. Like, it's just like paying attention. Like...
Yes.
Stay gone, man.
Compared to just reading a line, which... Oh man. I will say that having to act for a remake that's so recent and beloved does suck. People have direct comparisons instead of just your performance. The OG Dead Space cast were never the most incredible, in-depth characters. You know, Peter Mensa fucking rules, and I feel bad for someone having to follow that up. That said, a lot of lines are one-to-one, but they've twisted some things up in the writing more significantly. A lot of dialogue and writing is more natural, like cutting down on the cut off the limbs prompts and making them sound more real. At other points, they tried to add more depth to the characters, with varying levels of success. Out of everyone, I think Nicole was the big winner, which is probably who you want. You get a better sense of her job, what she was doing, her relationship to Isaac, and with her recasting, she does look and sound more like a senior medical officer with a stressful job on a massive corporate spaceship.
Okay, so let's do a it's people were kind of upset because she wasn't as attractive.
I do remember that, and I feel like here it's a lot more understandable as to why they did what they did, because they essentially they wanted to make her look like that she was an actual professional in her job, so she would obviously have some sort of like aged look to her.
They made her more like the voice actress. That was the point of it.
That I'm completely fine with, because it still fits. It still fits in with the context given to us in universe.
But
it's not like Spider-Man 2, where they just completely changed MJ's whole look to that look.
Where she looks like she got stung by a bee.
I don't want to be too rude to the voice actress. It's just that MJ's model can look really fucking weird at times in Spider-Man 2.
Like, there's a the tone is a bit different with Insomniac Spider-Man 2. It's almost like they did it in like celebration, whereas like Dead Space did it to be like, well, she needs to be more respectable. It's like they did it in a respectful way. I mean, it doesn't feel like they did it to get back at the gamers, so to speak. You know, it's like it doesn't feel vindictive.
No.
But like, I do agree, she does look not ugly, but she's definitely not as pretty. But then again, back then,
I think they may have. I think they may have also based just the overall appearance more off of how she appears in the second game.
It's I forgot where I was going.
Sorry.
That's fine. I'm just saying, it's like, I think it's, oh yeah, now I remember. I think the models back then were very limited. Were more limited.
Yeah.
And so it's like they made them like have similar face syndrome, I guess.
I wouldn't
So
even say that. It's just
it's sort of like when you get to know an artist, it's like, oh, you kind of do the same face over and over. It's like, yeah. Because
I mean, if I'm gonna be honest, I actually prefer the remake look. Just looking at those two side to side, because the one in the original, at least from the clip he's shown, she looks way too smooth. She looks more like
too young to be medical senior officer.
She not only too young, but also just the overall model is too clean, and I feel like giving her this a bit of a rougher look while still keeping her beauty and her age. I think it's done very well in the remake. At least that's my opinion.
I don't have a complaint about her character at all. I think she's a better character in the remake.
I will say this: the original's ending looked a lot creepier than the remakes did.
Oh, okay.
I will say Dead Space 2, her nightmarish form always scared the shit out of me when I was younger.
Same.
I do think the beginning of Dead Space 2 is a little bit over the top. She crawls over everything and gets in your face. I'm like, okay, this is kind of comedic. It's like
I more so remember the stuff near the end of Dead Space 2 where she's like a lot more slow in her approach, and it's some unnerving shit.
her relationship to Isaac, and with her recasting, she does look and sound more like a senior medical officer with a stressful job on a massive corporate space.
Yeah, it's like you could still you could still think that that the remake version, yeah, she's aged, but you could still notice her beauty.
I don't think she's that pretty, but you know, I'm not the person on this ship who's probably lonely and got together with somebody. Maybe her personality is good, you know?
I'm going to be honest.
For a woman her age, she looks nice.
I'm going to be honest.
Sure.
That's not what I was paying attention to during this game. I kind of had bigger things to focus on.
Well, we're just bringing it up as a topic.
I know.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's cool. But by the way, there's also Miranda, which she does look better than the original. So I'm like, you got that one. So it's fine.
With a stressful job on a massive corporate spaceship. Before, she came across more like a med student. They didn't expand on her much, even in all the spin-off media.
Come on, we've got to move quickly. You got a boyfriend? You want to see him again, right?
Yeah, that about covered it. So this is our best example. The main issues are some writing that doesn't add up.
I hardly remember that movie, honestly. I watched it a long time ago. I don't remember much from it, honestly. I just remember the ending because it was actually quite creepy. But I don't even remember what the fucking plot of that movie was.
Falco, when you said Miranda, did you mean Kendra?
Kendra, sorry. Sorry.
Yeah. Did you ever see that movie Redacted, the animated one?
Yeah, I saw both of them.
Me too.
What did
I
you
just
think?
forgot about them.
Do you remember it more than I do, or?
I don't know. Probably. I liked it.
I liked the escape from the Ishimura. That was neat. But like, I need to watch him again. I could probably find him somewhere.
I could probably like set up some movie nights for us to check it out if need be.
There is a couple of movies that I want to sort of go and recommend. It's just I can't remember them right now.
Yeah.
Iffy casting and some horrific direction. Here's a comparison of what I mean.
Are you okay?
More what? What the hell are those things? Is that the crew?
Keep your voice down.
Some of them were wearing Ishimura uniforms.
They're the crew? How the hell can they be the crew? Look at them.
How can that be? They're already dead. Now, the instinctive
I did like the previous one better. But...
she seemed a lot more scared in the original, yeah. I do remember...
Yeah?
Sorry, I just want to say, I do remember watching the Ackman review, and one of his issues was... look, I don't like him anymore, but he did have a good point in his Dead Space remake review where he was talking about the delivery between the remake version of these two and the original version of those two, and the original had a lot more punch and back and forth and personality within how scared they are, and how much. I forgot their names. Does anyone remember their names?
Kendra and...
I'm thinking Hammond, but that's not it, is it?
No, I think it is Hammond.
All right.
Yeah, it's like Kendra was coming off more as a person who was genuinely terrified and wanted to get the fuck out of there, and the other guy was trying his best to keep her calm in a very drastic situation. This remake feels a lot more toned down in terms of those two's interactions.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is Hammond.
Oh, goody. I did get it right.
I just double checked it.
So, yeah, I do like this sort of like, it almost feels like the modern game AAA syndrome where it's like, shush, like our bosses are watching. It's like...
Are you talking about the sense of dialogue feeling safer?
Yeah, sort of. You can't be too harsh in your tone.
It's like, what? I get what you mean, but I don't think it's as drastic as some other games.
Oh no, of course not. But like, it's just like when you heard the original, it's like look at that, like, keep your voice down. It's like, wow, that was like an actual human beings. It's like this one is like, oh my gosh, they're going to get us. Is that the crew? It's like,
I feel like that's just during this part of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I personally I don't know how they are for the rest of the game because I didn't play the rest of it. But I'll get back to Dead Space Remake when I can.
Ooh, maybe that'd be a Halloween thing. Who knows?
Maybe I'm still thinking on whether or not to either do Dead Space for October or the first Silent Hill game.
Oh boy. All right.
Understandable reaction is to blame the actor for bad acting. But there are two additional things at play here. The first is that take had to be okayed, and there are parts of the game where she makes a good delivery. I did notice they were mainly in the audio calls. While the characters look more realistic, there's now something uncanny and stiff about all their facial movements. It's like my ape brain is noticing what motion capture didn't pick up, and it looks weird. I don't know if the original game actually had performance capture on the voice actors' faces, but a lot of it does look hand-keyed. The faces aren't as expressive, but the delivery is more emotional and less subdued. The supporting cast feels more real and memorable.
It's the only way off the ship.
Kendra.
No, Hammond! This changes everything!
Just let me think.
Kellyanne was our only way home. We're trapped.
No. I'm not losing two good people for nothing.
This more subdued direction just demolishes the tone of some sections. Here, we have paranoid, hyper-religious space doctor. He's fervently insisting he can help, but you don't know if you can trust him.
My name is Terrence Kine. Dr. Kine.
That's a really good voice. Like,
oh yeah,
yeah.
I feel like I recognize that voice.
And this is the original.
Yeah.
So it's like, as much as I like, some of the production values are down for some stuff. It's like, dude, like, I think the voice cast of the original is actually really good. Like,
listen to me.
He's looking around in suspicion. He's hushed. I feel like he might help or he might stab me.
Dr. Terrence Kine, the Ishimura's chief science officer. I studied the marker for the church.
I'm done talking to unitologists.
But the planet won't rest until the marker is returned. You can't leave.
Not even a hint of crazy. I feel like the worst thing New Kind could do is blow smog in my face trying to sell vapes in a mall. He's been toned down into seeming too genuinely helpful for what his character is supposed to be. I just found it harder to get into the setting of the story when the performances are so flat.
When they were turned, those units merged right into their bodies. Changed them. They're fucking fast, Isaac. Stay sharp.
There's more to go over, but I'm definitely going to get into spoilers now, so if you...
Oh my gosh. It's just like, watch out, Isaac. They're fast. It's like, For the major story stuff, though, they do a good enough job. Especially when it's Nicole and all that stuff. So, at least there's that. Does anyone care about spoilers? Or are we going to skip it?
I don't know. Froggo, do you care about spoilers?
Yeah, Froggo.
Considering that I already know what happens in Dead Space 2, I think I'm fine with Dead Space 1 spoilers.
Okay.
If you don't want those, go to here.
By the way, this is a good system. He puts in the timestamp. And he's like, if you don't want spoilers, go to here. It's like, yay! Good on you.
Okay, here's the deal. Having Isaac talk has shifted everyone's roles around a bit. Starting with Hammond, he was the chief security officer and the boss. With Isaac improvising more, Hammond needs something else to do. He scouts around the ship at a point and gives hints about the marker, unitology, and horrors to come, which is good. It's what they've made his primary trait now. In the original, the rest of the repair crew is Mario and another red shirt who die instantly. The opening is a little
Mario, because he has a mustache.
slower now, which I do like, but the red shirts die just about as fast. One was still on the Kellyanne not able to talk to anyways and dies in an explosion, so it didn't feel that consequential. The more important one is Chen. He lands the ship, talks about getting crunk, and says the Ishimura is stinky.
Smell that?
Smell what?
Like something died in the air vents. Oh.
He still dies just as fast, and Hammond spends the entire game talking about how destroyed he is over Chen. Except, Chen is now also a necromorph that's actively pursuing him. The specter of Chen is everywhere. Where Hammond once noticed a slasher in an escape pod and went oh shit and jettisoned it, he has now lured Chen into the escape pod because he can't bear the thought of killing him. This ends with Chen pursuing him all the way to the Valor.
Chen? Christ, what did that thing do to you? Help me get him to the Kelly.
Shoot him! It's not Chen! Shoot him!
Chen? No.
Hammond!
You're right.
Oh God! Hammond! No!
It's worth mentioning we came onto the ship for that part, and that could have screwed everyone.
Get that Clover Stone! Don't wait for me!
Hammond no longer comes across as heroic, and the
I hate to say it, but like that was the original clip of Hammond dying, and he gets smashed against the glass, and it's like it's so much more impactful than that death in the remake, like because you get to see all of it, like he's such a hero in that game.
Chen's story does nothing for me. Expanding their red shirts for the beginning is a good idea, but I don't understand why they didn't have Chen do more then. In a logical sense, Hammond knew him for years, and it makes sense that he's so disturbed by what's happening. And sure, the marker's messing with him too, but as a player, I don't know this dude at all. Like, even if he only makes it to chapter 2 or 3, maybe he can come up with an idea for the shock pad and medical. He could be helpful or bantering, just anything to make the player know and like him before this happens. It comes across as hollow, which is a shame because Hammond being this Papa Bear who hates losing his people is a good idea on paper. Performance aside, he's more passive and confused. With that said, let me go back to Nicole and Isaac so I can cover some positives. They made the very smart move of integrating the call from the beginning of Dead Space 2 into this one.
That was a really
Isaac
good.
pushed her
That
to
was
take
a
the
really
job in
good
the first
edit.
place, and now he.
What?
That was a really good edit.
What edit?
The heart on like the screen.
Okay, sorry.
With that said, let me go back to Nicole and Isaac so I can cover some positives. They made the very smart move of integrating the call from the beginning of Dead Space 2 into this one. Isaac pushed her to take the job in the first place, and now he's dealing with the guilt of it. He met her in the first place because she assists people in leaving unitology, basically helping escape from a cult. She helped his mom leave, and she seemed to be better, until she pulled off a murder-suicide with his father while Nicole was on the Ishimura. The last time they spoke on call, he monstrously blames her for all of it. So the guilt doesn't just come from him wanting her to take a prosperous job, he's also desperately hoping that won't be the last thing he said to her and that he can apologize. Before, Isaac was guilty, but what happened wasn't his fault. It's still not his fault, but it still gives him something bad he did that he feels he can't make up for. That context is better for this game, and it makes Dead Space 2 stronger. Since the CEC and Church had filled the command staff with unitologists and told a select few that they were digging up a marker, you also see how this got her iced out by her colleagues who knew she helped people leave the Church. Like Dr. Mercer. He's also expanded on. You see more of his evil scientist shenanigans, understand him more, and see that he's actually discovering the truth. Again, a lot of what he's doing flows naturally into Dead Space 2. As you'd expect, he's more toned down and less screaming fanatical, but in this one it's because he became a cult leader for a while, instead of everyone abandoning him. What he does is atrocious, but now he comes across as a Lovecraft villain. He's seen glimpses of the truth that are too horrible for you to comprehend.
Are you the reason the marker won't begin? That's it. Convergence is installed. She's meddling.
The new Mercer rules. The only change I didn't like was the original let himself be transformed to show just how devout he was. Unfortunately, things don't go down that way in this one. The consequence was, to contrast him, they made Kyne way too strong of a voice of reason. Kyne is a scientist and very religious. This whole ordeal is a trial for him, and he's trying to figure out what's happening by balancing those parts of himself. Originally, he can see that the marker is a problem, but conflicted on what that could mean.
I think that's precisely the point, Doctor. God's work.
I'm not so sure of that. We have to assume that the colony's problems are somehow connected to the marker.
So now that the topic is brought back up, I just wanted you guys to know that the actor for Dr. Kynes in the original Dead Space, He was apparently the voice of Trigon in the Teen Titans TV series.
Really? Oh, neat.
Yep. He also voiced Joshua Graham in Fallout New Vegas and the Didact in Halo 4.
Yes. He voiced a lot of character. At first, I thought he might. At first I thought he might have been Dr. Petruger in Doom 3, but I guess that was a different voice actor.
Oh yeah, now that you mention it, I do hear it.
Yeah, it kind of sounds like him.
You can assume all you want to.
I like this, by the way, this whole back and forth that they're doing in this sort of like video call that they're doing. I mean, I'm in this recording. It's I like it a lot. It's like it's voice acted well, and they're talking about how they should go forward with like dealing with the purple on the surface of the mining facility are going crazy, and it's like, is it the marker? Is it not? Because they're speaking intelligently, but the marker's still influencing them too. So it's like, who do you believe? Do you believe yourself? Can you believe your own sanity? It's like it's a Lovecraftian thing, you know.
Yeah.
Not. The marker is glorious and divine. You know that.
God moves in mysterious ways.
The marker is divine. We know this. Look, it'll be on board tomorrow. You can study it then. Put your mind at ease. At ease? People are dying. How can that be the transformation the teachings promise? Or wait.
If they had kept the previous more ambiguous Kyne, Isaac's new motivations for hating unitology would have made their relationship a lot tenser. Instead, he tries to be helpful, and Isaac just tells him to shut up sometimes. That leaves Kendra, and this one is messy. She's both a covert agent sent in with a military detachment to wipe out any trace of this happening, and they have her overplay her hand, and also try to be more sympathetic. It's a weird combination, so let me lay it out. Kendra is an infiltrator, but a shrewd one. She wants Isaac more on her side, but doesn't want to sabotage the whole team. She needs them, but only plants a seed of doubt about Hammond.
They think it's of alien origin, but I don't know what the hell it is.
Really? CEC didn't know anything about it. You're lying.
Back up!
In this, she has more subtle plants, like pretending to be suspicious when the crew is pulling out pulse rifles, until she accuses Hammond of being a spy in great detail that alludes to her own plans, where she'd once go, I wonder where Hammond is. Now she'll call to say I'm hacking the mainframe and I'm gonna find out the truth. Sorry I'm not dead, Hammond, I know you want me dead. And then Hammond's like, I miss Chen. Hammond is so clearly lost in his own...
I miss Chen.
Poor Hammond, he just wants his drinking buddy back.
Yeah, it's almost like, yeah, I can see how it's like, could be messed up about like, man, it's kind of funny how much the original does have some things about it that are just better. It's just not the gameplay portions. Like, I really like the voice actors in the original. Like, it's... and the way they banter and stuff.
World that instead this makes Kendra obviously suspicious. But they try to humanize her more when she talks with Isaac, like seeing hallucinations of her brother. She sympathizes with Isaac, claiming to also have someone else back home. They talk work jargon. Even when she leaves him to die, she sounds remorseful and says, I know you're smart and you can find another way off. And she seems to genuinely mean that. Now at this point, there was a second reason I had been confused. A background story was about a couple named...
So, I kind of agree with that sort of thing. It's like, you get attached to people, but like you have a job to do. It's like, it's not personal, it's just business. But like, I hope you find another way off. It doesn't mean she's any less a bad person. It's just that she's human, you know.
It's like, thanks, but still a dick move.
Yes, yeah.
Thanks for the vote of confidence, but dick.
To Jacob Temple and Elizabeth Cross. It used to be mainly in the audio logs, kind of a homage to the couple in System Shock 2. Except now, Cross is still alive and helps you deal with the Leviathan. And then you don't hear from her again, you think. Who you thought was Nicole was Cross, and she thought you were Jacob Temple. I like this change a lot too, because it explains more of what physically happens that wasn't just a marker delusion.
Oh, that's right, I forgot about that. In the remake, it's Cross. Oh.
Yeah, there's a lot of moments in the original where you will see Nicole and she will very clearly open a door that you could not physically like get to in order to clear something out of the way. So it being someone else who you just think is Nicole is a lot better than it just being a full hallucination.
I don't know if I can say that completely, because like it's the marker messing with you. It's like, no, it was green all the whole time. It's just that it didn't happen right away. But like, I do like this better.
Yeah, but my point is there's a lot of stuff in the original that the way it plays out would be physically impossible without two people being present, and there's no real way for the marker to fake that unless you want to say that a necromorph was there helping you secretly.
You don't have to headcanon it was Isaac physically doing more, it was just someone else. Anyhow, Kendra cranks 90s on her.
Yeah, I think you just said what I tried to say. It's like you gotta headcanon it. It's like, nah, that's not it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was saying too. In the original, that was really your only option for some of the shit that was happening. It's like, okay, so I guess Isaac just jumped across that chasm and opened the door on his own instead of there being someone else there to help him.
Was Isaac physically doing more, it was just someone else. Anyhow, Kendra cranks 90s on her. You get the same lead up with the marker, just less annoying use of kinesis. The hive mind still emerges on the platform, but then this happens.
Oh!
Yeah.
And
God damn! I thought it was just gonna grab her by the leg and drag her, but it just fucking smushed her.
Well, in the original, it doesn't it pick her up and throw her? Like
in the original, I'm pretty sure she's up by the shuttle.
Yes, she is.
When it comes down and like smashes it.
Yeah, she just gets crushed, and then you hear the deadline of the rig suit. Yeah, it's like, well, she's dead.
And I guess it's to make Isaac seem more noble, but she's been trying to poison him against Hammond all game, murders a much more sympathetic and gentle Kyne, sentences him to days, weeks, or possibly death aboard the Ishimura, and then zaps another colleague in front of him while they're fixing the problem. If you really reach, maybe Isaac wants to redeem her because then he can redeem himself, but it still seems to flow better with her being revealed as an ice-cold operative and it was all a front. It feels more conflicted now, and shooting Cross was the last thing we saw her do. Maybe Isaac could have convinced her this was the right thing to do and she puts the marker back, but it's too late and the hive mind is already out or something. Or a falling asteroid then knocks it into the crater. You know, if she tried to redeem herself in her last moments instead of leaving Isaac stranded again, it might have been more tragic, and instead, this doesn't come together for me. As a spectacle fight, I've always liked the hive mind. But this is another case where I wish the remake twisted it farther instead of being faithful. You still fight it on a platform, now it just has a trickle of new attacks. You get the same jump scare ending, unless you go back for New Game Plus. When you go back through the game, you collect marker fragments, and some are obvious, with some being slightly more hidden. When you assemble them all, the ritual is complete, and Isaac even gets new dialogue, such as the aftermath of the Kendra betrayal.
It was all for nothing. She can't take the marker. She doesn't understand.
Damn it, Isaac! You don't know what you're doing!
I know you don't understand the marker like I do.
This is fascinating because in this new context, Isaac comes across as psychotic. Like, the main game could have been how Isaac thought he was saying things, and New Game Plus was how he was actually coming across. The only issue with that is, her lines don't change. If she was cold in the main game and more pitying in New Game Plus, like she can't bear to actually kill him herself, it would show Isaac's perspective is truly warped and be a cool reveal. Instead, you can only write your fan theory and talk about how Ed and Nettie are actually in purgatory. In the new ending, Isaac
Eddie are now in purgatory?
That is a...
What?
That is an old reference.
What is that about?
There's a fan theory about the show Ed, Ed, Nettie, about how all of the kids are stuck in purgatory, and how a lot of the designs show
That's dumb.
like a lot of the character designs show how they died when they were still alive.
Imagine
The main reason why this became a theory in the first place is because we never see them leave the cul-de-sac that their houses are in, and we never see their parents until or like really any adults until we see I think it's Eddie's brother.
Yes, he does come
We
back.
see his older brother in...
But they go to school. Like...
I don't know what to tell you. I've never really watched Ed, Edd n Eddy. I'm just...
I understand. I understand.
You need to change the perspective where they're not only in purgatory, but the person who's in charge of purgatory is Rolf. Life has many doors, head boy.
6 head is filled with marker, and the stage is set for Dead Space 2. Again, I'm not sure if this is the true ending, but it sure looks like it. Story-wise and across the whole game, there's a lot I wish I could pick out from the original and stick into the remake. It's still decently buggy, and iffy performance-wise, but as a remake, it's incredibly faithful, and if you liked Dead Space, this is absolutely worth playing. They kept a lot I didn't think would make it, made huge gameplay improvements, and added a lot of variation to make replaying it fun. If you never played any of the games, the first requires some tweaking, but is definitely worth checking out first. It's also cheaper, and will stay that way for a long time. I think the remake does have issues that they could patch or tweak, but who knows if they will. The first also has a different kind of atmosphere to it that this game doesn't. It also gives you a better, less flat version of some characters. If you only care about ripping apart necromorphs, the remake is the way to go 100%. Now I'm curious about where things could go from here. Will they make a DLC that recreates the Dead Space mobile story? Are they going to remake Dead Space 2, which is a golden standard for pacing and might not have interconnectedness work in it? I'm happy we got a good game, but while I understand remaking some games that are ancient and were clunky, I do worry about the floodgate opening for games that are perfectly fine and playable. I've seen how that went for movies, and I'm not sure other game remakes will meet this bar. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Where it's like, if you have a good game and you remake it, it's like, reminds me of Halo original and Halo Combat Evolved, you know.
Well, but the original was Combat Evolved.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like, there's going to be, like, Combat Evolved.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Campaign Evolved or whatever.
Such a stupid name.
They're apparently bringing back multiplayer, which is really funny. It's like, why would you even call it Campaign Evolved if you're bringing back multiplayer? Campaign Evolved basically implies that it's only the campaign, but if they're adding multiplayer, then I don't even know what the fuck the point of Campaign Evolved is as a title.
But you see, Froggo, campaign also means multiplayer because it's warfare campaign.
I just hope we still get high-budget stuff for new ideas. It's a worthy game, give it a go, maybe when the bugs are more ironed out. I guess I live in the store now. Also, Valentine Grip.
Did he get stuck in the... He got stuck in the store?
Because there's a monster I guess appeared behind him and got him stuck in the store.
More ironed out. I guess I live in the store now. Also, Valentine Grimm, who refines the captions and does translations for these videos, started out doing the original Dead Space video. So while not exactly an anniversary, I do appreciate his years of work, and he posts updates directly to his channel if you wait for those kinds of things. Come back next time for the Callisto Protocol. It has graphics.
That is definitely a way to describe that game. It has graphics.
So that's it. He just does a Patreon thing, and then and then he answers questions. So
Callisto Protocol is definitely the game that the game that goes, hey, so when a game trailer says that that the original developers of this game you like are coming back, yeah, that's not gonna mean shit.
It is like that, absolutely. So what do you think, Froggo? Did you like the review?
Yeah, it was a good review.
Not really that much. That's why I recommend Mandalore Gaming. He's good. It's good
Yeah.
channel.
Does he possibly have a review on Spider-Man 2?
No. He usually does a lot of more obscure things in horror games. He doesn't
I would
do
have
those things.
I would have actually liked to see what his opinion would be on that fucking travesty of a game.
Oh, there's many more people that do that too. So it's like, so there, but still, I, I will say he does some games from his childhood stuff, and it's like he has a review of normal Dead Space as well, and Dead Space 2 and 3, the rail shooter, like he's definitely has like he's where I found out about Thief and Thief 2 and Thief the Dark Project. And it's like, wow, these are really cool games. Like,
yeah,
and I understand why he had a thing for Thief. Like, I understand why all these games were so good in the first place. So yeah, I guess that's it. I just got some recordings from other people, and so I'm ready to move on with my video. And the video is actually being made now. I'm actually doing video editing. So,
Oh, nice.
Yes. Can't wait for my Media Literacy 101. So it's going to be interesting. Telling people how they should do stuff. So, and Froggo just did his Iron Lung thing. And also his reaction to, the new Overwatch V for Vendetta edition. Like,
V for Vendetta.
You got so angry during that. That was funny.
He's an
What a
Overwatch
stupid
fanboy.
What a stupid. Well, I was an Overwatch 1 fanboy, but what a
You were a
stupid
Doomfist fanboy.
It's now called just Overwatch anyway, so technically I'm correct.
What a stupid fucking name for a character. It's like, listen, we didn't have the best names for Overwatch characters sometimes, but Vendetta, that was the best name you could come up with as far as her actual name.
I don't mind the name.
Even like it's not even like a fucking it's not like a villain name that she chose for herself. Like Reaper calls her Vendetta. It's like that's her name. That's her name.
I understand, but still, yeah, he does after theater thoughts, which are always fun to watch. I watch most of those, not all of them, because I'm like, eh. But it happens. Yeah, and I think that's it. So yeah, I will probably say goodbye for now.
I just want to give a quick update. The Pepsi video is still going,
Pepsi!
although there will be complications to the progress on that. I'll just have to figure it out myself. But so far, progress is progress.
Did the Pepsi gods curse you?
Oh, hey, all coincidences are a form of Pepsi.
Yeah.
he gets that meme now, so it's like, yeah. Freaking Father Poochie and his gravity talk.
All is Pepsi. Pepsi is all.
Pepsi is all.
So yeah, that's going somewhere. So we'll see you guys later. Bye bye.
Yep. See you later.